having so much fun today, everyone. It's like, it feels pretty amazing being able to do this now. I'm having so much fun today, everyone. Which one is, is it you? Okay, be quiet. So, hello and welcome to Jakob Live. I've been waiting for this for so long, having a new iPad, and I was able to get one at a bargain, actually. So I'll tell you all about it, but to begin with, I just wanted to jam a little bit just for the beginning of this stream with this thing while we wait for a little bit more people to join up. I know that some people are late, and as usual, I've got you under my skin. I've got you right here so I can see everything. So hello everyone, hello and welcome to Jakob Live. And oh my god, I'm so happy today. New iPad. I'm loving this so much. Yeah, so I think I've had enough of that. Well, so what's been going on is I've been saving up for a new iPad, and I wanted to buy a new iPad, a completely brand new iPad. But the more I looked at it, the dumber I felt, because here's the thing. The new iPad Pros from 2020 and the iPad Pros from 2018 have almost exactly the same spec. Now, what makes them different is number one, the cameras, and number two, the RAM. So there are 2 gigabytes more of RAM inside the 2020 iPad Pros, and inside the 2018 you have 4 gigabytes of RAM. And it's got an improved camera, of course, but it doesn't have that LiDAR. It doesn't have that, the multicam stuff. How much did I need that? I do not. I don't care about the LiDAR thing, and I do not care about an improved camera, actually, because I don't film or record videos with the iPad. I record videos with iPhones. And right now, you see, the old stuff is starting to get cheap to buy. So I purchased another iPhone, an iPhone 6s. Sorry, you can only see my beautiful hair right now. So I bought another iPhone 6. So I have 2 now, and now I can film with both of these. And it's great because they film at the resolution I want. They can still do 4K if I want to move up to that, which I might do in 2020. And they're still good for loads of things. Plus they have headphone jacks, so I can use my lavalier microphones and everything. Now with the iPad, what do I mainly need the iPad for? Well, I need it for my music production, and I need it for video editing. And so I went for an iPad Pro 2018, and that's this thing here. Now let me just try to bring this into picture a little bit more. Yeah, okay, so right over here we have an iPad Pro 2018 11-inch iPad. I was worried that the screen was going to be too small, but it really isn't. It's perfect. It's even lighter also, of course, than the big iPad Pro 12.9 inch, the first gen one I have, and that one is from 2015, and it's getting old. And today I'm going to show you what I have been dealing with all this time for the past year whenever I've been doing a music project that is big. And I'm not talking about like the way I used to do it in the past when I was working with computers. I was working with laptop and desktop computers, and I used to have like these projects with 60 tracks in them. On the iPad, I've been able to make tracks with 26, 28 tracks, and then I have to bounce everything, and I have to export a lot of audio and do stuff like that. And I still do that. But the test I'm gonna show you today, okay? I'm gonna show you this in a little bit, what's gonna happen. So I'll move this out again so you can see all of it, all right? And I'll tell you real quickly what's going on here with my setup, real quickly. And I want to say hello to everyone. I think I saw my buddy Accurate Beats in here earlier, and I'm seeing so many people. So thank you so much for joining up. Okay, so over here is the old iPad Pro 12.9 inch from 2015. Here is an iPad Mini 1, still usable. I'm using it as a pip basically for filming me. And here is the iPad Pro 2018 11 inch. Now here we have a BenQ old monitor that I used to use for my computer. Okay, so this is what I was using. It's a 22-inch monitor, and right now it's running a picture from the iPad, and I'm doing that with an adapter. So the reason to why I went for this is because I don't need the improved stats of the 2020s models. I don't. So I looked on this site in Sweden that we have called Tradera. It's basically like old eBay was, okay? Back in the day when people were just putting out their own ads, when you didn't see companies just spreading out all over the site. You know, every site, auction site like that today, they're all full with just ads from companies. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. But Tradera, there's still a lot of people who are selling their old stuff. And so I found this thing for about $500, but in Swedish money, okay? And that's a very, very good price for this thing. Because now with this, it also came with a case, so I don't have to buy that. That's another $50 I don't have to spend, between $50 and $100, depending on what type of case you're buying. So I didn't have to spend on that. So about $500, and that means that all of the other money I had saved I can now spend on stuff like adapters, because I want to do a lot of tests. You've seen a lot of my older videos where I do tests with let's see here, with these things, okay? I like something like this, and right now I've got the USB 3 plugged over here. Okay, so this thing still costs about, in Swedish money, if we translate that into dollars, it's about, in Sweden they cost about $370. Sorry, not 300, $38 or something like that. You have to buy this one. And the USB 3 to Lightning, the other one with the power on, you'll pay about what, $50 for something like that. So they're still very expensive, all right? And when it comes to the old gear, with Lightning, you have to make sure that they're MFI certified. Now, the new iPad Pros, they don't have that requirement because it's USB-C. And before I got this, I couldn't say that for sure. There were a lot of people telling me, yes, that's true, but until I've tested it myself, I just don't know. So I can't be certain. But now I am. And I'm going to be purchasing the absolute cheapest piece of shit adapters out there, and I'm going to be buying some of the more expensive ones. And right now I purchased an in-between expensive and cheap. So I purchased 2 adapters, all right? So here we have something called Plex Gear. Now you've probably seen stuff like this online on Amazon and stuff like that. And this is made by a Swedish brand for a Swedish store. And basically it's just a row of USB 3 ports. It's got a power through USB-C connector right there, so you can actually run power to your iDevice while you're using this. Plus it also has an Ethernet jack. Now this is one type, and this in Sweden costs about $50 or $60. All right, so this one purchased today. And the second thing, I'm gonna unplug my monitor right now. So that's a horrible sound. That's a horrible sound. Please die. Ugh, horrible sound. Sorry. So right here we have a really, really fat little dongle. Okay, the brand is called Logilink, and what it is, it's just an old, not DV. What is it called? AVG? AGV? Oh, chat, help me out here. The old connector, you know, this one that you had to screw in. That's what this monitor has. Okay. So basically, it has 3 ports. One port's for power through for the USB-C charger, okay? And then it has this connector that you can see on old, really old computers. And then it has a USB 3 connector right here. And that's how I'm connecting a sound card right now. So right now I have 2 sound cards running in the background. I got one sound card for this iPad and one sound card for this iPad. And it's beautiful because with this setup, I'm now able to use something like Luma Fusion. I'll show you just in a bit. So I'll just plug this back in and it should just connect again. Yeah, everyone, I'm missing everything you're saying in the chat. I'm so stoked about this. Okay, it just plugs up. Now, as you can see at the borders here, you will always have these edges. This is AUM right now. It's this view, okay? So you will have these black borders. But if we, for instance, go out of here and I haven't learned this yet. There is no home button, and I'm so used to home buttons. So whenever you want to switch a program, you do this stupid halfway cross drag until you get to the middle of the screen, and I'm so unused to it, so I can't get it right. So I'm gonna turn these off and I'll turn on Luma Fusion and I'll just show you why this is so nice. So still we're getting these borders here, okay? And what I want is a full view of my video when I'm editing. And with this setup I can it crashes. And I know why it crashes. I know why Luma Fusion crashes. It turns out that some apps that developers make, they forget to tell their apps what to do whenever you're connecting a sound card with more outputs than 2, okay? Every app is okay with 1 or 2 outputs, but when you're using something like an audio hub like I have, there are 4 outputs. And so the app doesn't know what to do with it. So what I have to do now is disconnect the audio hub. And this thing should just start up now, okay? I almost pressed there, you see? Let's see here. So right now I'm running, yeah, by the way, you're commenting on Qbasis. It's Qbasis 3, everyone, okay? It's still crashing. Are you serious now? I did the test before. I actually, okay, so let's do this. Let's unplug this. Let's plug this in again. Now I'm having issues. What is going on? Come on. Don't do this to me. This was working perfectly before I started the stream. It was working absolutely perfectly. Don't crash. Please don't crash. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Okay, so, well now, that is interesting. So that didn't happen before the stream. Did I do anything differently? I don't think so. Too much excitement. I should probably just restart the iPad and try again, just to see. I'll just unplug this. And how do you restart on these? I haven't restarted this one ever because there's no home button. Let's try this. Oh, so that's how you do it. Okay, cool, awesome. I actually didn't know. I was guessing because because on the old iPads, when you do that, if you want to do a hard reset, you press in the power button and the volume button, and you do that for a long time, I think, just to get out of it. And on this thing, since it doesn't have a home button, this is so horrible right now. I feel horrible right now just because of this not working. It's supposed to be working. It did work. I wasn't having any issues with it before, so I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna make sure that this is really properly plugged in there. That might have been it. It's not screwed in properly. Is this also plugged? Wow, that's really hard. Come on now. Whenever you do these things live, so I am of course gonna make some more like straightforward edited video for my channel, main channel, when doing these tests to show you exactly how everything works and everything. And videos like that, they usually get a lot of views, so I'm gonna have to try to capitalize on that somehow. A lot of people have been asking me, since I've been doing so many tests with the old Lightning stuff, and I know these by hand now, but this one I don't. So what's going on right here right now, I have no idea, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of tests and get some test equipment also to see what's actually going on here, because I want stats, I want data, I want to see what's happening with the voltage and if there's a power drop or if there's anything else I might need. So everything is restarted. Hopefully by starting Luma Fusion this should work. Otherwise we'll try to just start up Luma Fusion and plug this in afterwards. That might work. I was running one of my video projects in here um, earlier. Yeah, so it's not working. So let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try starting up Luma Fusion and just try to plug it in afterwards, because it should work. I know that some people have been having some problems with Luma Fusions and external screens, but that's been when they've been running it in DVI. So I don't know. Okay, so that started, so it works. So let's see if it crashes now or if it connects. Oh, it connects. Oh, there we go. And there's a little icon here at the side, looks like a screen. I do that and I get the full view, and this is exactly how I want to be working. I'm telling you, like, oh yeah, maybe you've seen this video. I did run it on Instagram. So right now I don't have a sound card plugged in, so we're gonna try to plug in the sound card now and see if that works, or if it crashes. Huh, okay, so that's interesting. So maybe what I have to do every time I want to do this, at least until the Luma Fusion people can figure out what's going on, I'll have to start up Luma Fusion first and then plug this thing in. I can't hear anything. I can hear audio somewhere, but it's not. Wait, am I doing something wrong here? Oh, I see. I'm so stupid, everyone. Okay, we're gonna hear something real soon here. There we go. It's working. Oh, this is Inception. We got two Jacobs here. Oh, Jacob, you look like a happy little fuck, don't you? And I was absolutely sorry. I swear. I keep forgetting about that. Just so you know, everyone, if you ever meet me in life, know that I have I have a pretty vile language about me, and I do piss off a lot of people when I speak to people, because I say the F word all the time, and it's something that I'm so used to doing. It's hard to stop myself from doing it. And you know, on my main channel, I've been able to edit stuff like that out. If I ever saved all of it, I wish I would have saved all of that footage. I could have put together like a 45-hour just Jacob dropping the F word and put that up on YouTube, or make one of those the Jacob is dropping the F bomb for 10 hours. One of those videos. I've seen a lot of people been doing videos like that. This loop for 10 hours, or this song for 10 hours. I don't understand. I don't understand when you make those, but then again, you know, that might be something you want to do to earn money on YouTube. I mean, it's perfectly viable. But you can see what it is that I like about this, because when I work with this, one of the problems I've always had, even when you do the full screen mode on an iPad, even with the big iPad 12.9 inch Pro here, is that because of how it's running, with this one I've had a lack of resources, so everything is running slow on this one, and so I've had to step down the quality output of the video. So sometimes I can't see stuff in my video, and sometimes I can't play stuff in my video because of I can't see where stuff is. With this, I always see where I am with stuff. So even though I have to kind of like plug this in after I've started Luma Fusion, this is gonna help me out a lot. And it turns out that there is a multitude of these little bastards out on the everywhere for everything. I've seen the cheapest one that you can buy here in Sweden. I've seen stuff like this for about $18, up to stuff that costs about $300. There's a wide range of these available. Now, there is one big issue with the new iPads and the damn not well the problem isn't the USB-C thing. Because of this, thanks to this, now we can now find stuff that is cheaper to buy than the Apple stuff, and they will all work. Almost all of them will work, okay, more or less. They will give you different outputs. If you're buying something with DV, you know, for DVI, for HDMI outputs, what you have to think about is the kind of output you want. If you want to run your stuff in 4K 60 frames per second, then you have to make sure that this tech can do that. And there are tech like that, and it costs more than if you're buying something like this and it costs you $18. If you're buying something like this for $18 with an HDMI output, what I've seen after my research is that people will get maybe 1080p output in 30 frames per second. So think about that before you buy something like this if you got a new iPad, okay? If you want the high quality stuff, you're gonna have to pay for it. So the biggest issue is I cannot plug all of my old gear into this right now. Okay? This. I'm talking about this. I cannot plug any headphones that I have, any lavalier microphone, anything into this. And I like to walk around with my iPad when I'm working. I've been walking around with this for years and years and years. And it's horrible for me not to be able to just plug it in. So, yes, there are options. There are dongles for that. And I'm looking to buy 4 different types of dongles now, okay? A hub that has everything, you know, all of this stuff, plus a headphone jack. I'm also looking at buying that little stupid one from Apple, and also a third-party one that isn't Apple, just to show the difference or similarities between them and the difference in price. Most of them go for $10 anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And so that's what I'm going to be testing out next, because I'm really curious to see if I can find a solution for me wanting to walk around with this, because I cannot use Bluetooth headsets for anything with music because of the lag. Trust me, I've tried. It's horrible. The lag is horrible. It's awful, absolutely awful. So no, I have to be able to use stuff like this, and that's what I'm going to solve. Now, the next thing we're going to do here, before we start like chatting together here, because we're gonna have discussions about setups. What I want to do is show you what I've been dealing with for a year now. So I'm gonna just close down. There we go. And I'm gonna open up Qbasis. All right, and I'm gonna show you something. So right here we have a project, and this project is actually, you know, I'm gonna do, where is it? All right, this project is, I don't know what to tell you, but this project is something that's gonna come in a video, upcoming video. I'm waiting for an interview with someone, a person who has been involved here. This is the track that were used for the AGONIZER demo reel, and it's also the track being used for producing a UK grime type track. And so I've hired a guy from Fiverr to do things on this. So I'm gonna pull down on the volume on the vocals, because I don't want to reveal that until we're, you know, getting to that state with the video. Hopefully I'll get that out before the Christmas holidays or whatever. But I'm just gonna do this. But I still want all the processing to be on. So just bear with me here, because you're gonna understand how painful it's been for me. Okay, so first up, this is the project. Here everything is zoomed out. So I'm gonna start playing it on my iPad Pro from 2015, 12.9 inch. And I want you to listen carefully to what's happening here. Alright, so just pull down on your volume a little bit, because we might be getting some really messed up spikes and stuff on here. Nothing else is running in the background on this iPad. I've turned it into flight mode. Everything is turned off. Everything extra is turned off. I just have the Qbasis on and whatever effects and bounce tracks I'm using. Just check this out. Listen closely. I don't know if you can see it. It starts jerking now. So far so good. So far it's not glitching. Okay, it's good again. It's still good. Still good. Alright, okay, so you could hear that there was a point where audio just disappeared. Okay, it's different every time I play this track. And if I start playing it over and over again, and I do this in a loop, it builds up. The buffer builds up. And at the end of it, I don't know if you remember that stream where we had Qbasis just do this loud screech. That's what happens. Only it doesn't happen like once. It happens like all the time. So we lost some audio. I don't want to push it. I don't want to kill anyone's ears. But this is what I've been dealing with this whole time. And if I pull up on the vocals, it just becomes even worse. His vocals drop out all the time. And also, the graphics are stuttering as nothing else. The only way I've been able to master and mix this track is by doing all the settings, exporting it, and then listening to the exported version. Okay, that's how I've had to work like this for so many tracks now because of this. But I loaded up that same track over here. Okay, that same track. There's nothing like that going on, and the playback is smooth. Whoa. Okay, I must have changed something with the bass drum here. I messed up the bass drum at some point because it's loud. I think I hit a level or something. Watch closely now. I'm gonna move around the screen here. Alright? So check this out. Check this out. Right down here. Okay? Right down there. Right down there. Check this out. I want to show you how fluid this is. Okay? While I'm playing this. Check these meters. Everything is super fluid. It's just... Look at this. We're having no audio glitches. I can move this around without any problems. And I've even tried doing this while I'm running like AUM in the background with a bunch of plugins at the same time, and nothing happens with the audio. But if we go over here, let's go over to my old friend. Say hello to my old friend. This has been my workhorse for so many years. Okay? I don't know if you can see this, but can you see this? The input lag. Alright? The input lag is just horrible. Look at this. And if I play this at the same time, then it will crash on me. Let's try that. Oh, come on. See? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Stop. Stop. You see what I mean? This is what I've been dealing with for so many years. So this model is from 2015. This is 2018. This has got a dual core processing unit with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Alright? And at the time, the GPU in this was pretty fast. But the upgraded GPU on this one and the octa-core processor, even though it has the same amount of RAM, the memory is faster. Anyone who is dealing with this right now, please look for a used or refurbished unit from 2018. You can, if you just keep your eyes on auction sites, you can get them pretty cheap. So I paid $500 for this, okay? That's a very low price. Very low price, and it's almost at the same specs as the new iPad. So if you don't care about the LiDAR, if you don't the camera or the improved camera, if you don't care about that stuff, if you want to use it for video editing, music stuff, if you want to use it with the Apple Pencil, the new one, if you want to do photo editing, if you want to do illustrations, right now it's one of the better options you can get, because it's almost as good as the new ones. The only difference is you get 4 gigabytes of RAM instead of 6, and you don't have the LiDAR camera plus the dual cam thing. It's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. So what about battery life on used iPads? Well, in my case, this thing still has 6 months warranty. Okay, so the guy that was using this, or woman, I don't know, I think it was a guy. The name of the dude sending it to me, his address was a guy. But the thing is that he's been using it for 6 months, and when I look at the battery life thing, inside, it's at full capacity. So in this case, this person has been charging it with the original adapter, and I got the original box, the original adapter, and everything included, plus the receipt. It looked like new. It looked like it was brand new. The only thing that looked a little bit used was this little thing here, because it doesn't fit nicely. So let me bring it out so you can see all of the goodies, all of the goodies. Come down to Papa Jacob. Can y'all see me now? Can y'all see me now? Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for whatever this is? Okay, so I've been talking for a lot of time, and so here's the deal. When you are working with music apps, the RAM makes no difference whether you're using 4, 6, or 2. Okay, no difference, because of how iOS handles the RAM. You get more RAM for apps if you get a bigger thing, but you don't get 6. You get a percentage of that, a small percentage. So with something using 2 gigabytes of RAM, I think you have about 350 megabytes or whatever it is, up to 400 megabytes of RAM over for apps. Ask any developer about this, they will tell you. There are even posts on forums out there that will give you a list of all the models of iPads up till 2018 was the latest list I could find. I'm so stupid, I should have linked to that in the description, but I'll do that when I do an episode about this. So it doesn't matter if you're getting if you're getting the new iPad for 6 gigabytes of RAM just to do music. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. What's going to help you is the GPU, of course, for all the graphic stuff, but definitely the processors. And the 2020 Pro iPads and 2018 Pro iPads have almost the exact same processors. I think it is the same, only they changed a letter at the end, but it is the same. If you look at the specs, that there are some sites out there that do these comparisons of different processors, and they actually do like technical specs. They pull actual raw data out of them. It's showing the same kind of performance. It's octa-cores. So if you're getting something from 2018 used, I mean, that's gonna do you real well. If you don't care about the camera, then why get it? And if the RAM isn't helping you, then why get the more expensive one? Unless you want it brand new with an Apple deal and have it like, with one of the engravings, it makes no sense. If you want to save money, it makes no sense to buy a completely new one. Battery life is always one thing to consider. But then again, like me, I found this one used, and the guy had purchased it like during summer last year. So I still have 6 months of warranty on it. I mean, come on. it was so little for me. Like I had saved more money. I was gonna buy a new one, but now I could afford to go out and get more adapters, and I can go out and get more adapters and other stuff that I want to test with tomorrow. So if you're low on cash and you also need at least one adapter, I mean, that's another thing you're going to pay for. If you're buying a new one, okay, you also want a case or something to protect it. That's going to cost you about $50, okay? So an adapter about $50, a case about $50. I got the case with this one. So and I paid a new iPad Pro from 2018 in Sweden still costs about $900 or something like that, and the new iPad Pros from 2020 costs about what is it, $1,000 in Swedish money, or 1,500 or something like that, along those lines. So I kind of paid a half price thing here for this thing, and I got the case with it. I'm super happy, and every app I've tested this with is running. It's running so smooth. Even when I surf, if I go online and surf for something like this, now here there's gonna be input lag, I know that on the screen, but I've never seen something as smooth as this, and I know you can't see that because it's too bright for you, all right, but this is super smooth. This is so smooth, I don't even know. I don't even know. When I'm surfing on this one and I went back to this one after using this, it feels like I'm watching it through sand. It like everything becomes grainy, everything becomes slow. It feels like I'm playing a game from 1995. Sorry, I feel like I'm playing a new game on an old computer and I'm having frame drops. That's what it felt like. It's just completely different. I'm so happy. Give it a spin when Qbasis 3.2 drops on Monday. So it's going to drop on Monday. I'm not going to have time to check it out because I'm working on 2 other videos I need to get out before Xmas. But I will be working a lot on my album, my vocoder album during the holidays. So I'm going to be using Qbasis a lot. And you know, whenever you do something like that, I'm not so sure I want to run the newest version because I'm afraid it might crack or buckle. You know, who knows if there's any new bugs, but maybe there aren't. Maybe they fixed so much, I don't know. I can just say that I'm running Qbasis 3 right now on both these iPad. And by the way, this is on iOS 14.2 and this is on iOS 13.5 or something like that. And the only thing I had a few difficulties with was I tried to export some videos from God, I'm getting too excited, so I have to catch my breath. So I tried to export some videos in Luma Fusion, and I actually had some exporting issues. So with one, it kind of stopped in the middle of it and crashed. I'm blaming that on iOS 14. And the other one, it wouldn't even start, and one time it got locked in there. I went online and I looked for it, and I saw some other people having that issue, and they were all on iOS 14. The ones that didn't have those issues were on iOS 13. So I'm thinking it is that, but I can't know for sure. But all of the exports didn't fail, just some of them with the same material. So there are still some bugs, and that's what I was afraid of. But if I can't work on this, I can still work on this, even though I really don't want to right now. Someone says 500. Yes, 500. I've been having my face glued on this auction site. And I just can't believe I was able to get this for that deal. I do not make a lot of money on YouTube, not even with the Patreon, and I have no sponsors, okay? So whatever little money I scrunch up, I have to save from. I haven't gotten any money from the Agonizer thing yet because that takes time too, and it's not gonna be riches, you know? It's not gonna be like that. So I always have to think smart about every purchase. And that's why I spend so much time, invest so much time on really checking every bit of information about a thing, a piece of technology, piece of hardware, a synthesizer, an app. Just I check for so many different points of information, critique that is, about the good things, bad things, before I go and buy something. And during all that time, for the last 6 months now, I've just been keeping my head, like my eyes glued on this app, Tadera. It's actually a site, but I use it as an app. I've had notifications. I usually turn off all notifications in all of my apps, but for this thing, I wanted to be notified as soon as something new came up. So every time someone put up a new ad with an iPad Pro in it, with the word iPad Pro, I got notified and I checked it out. This one, I saw it and I purchased it a few minutes after. So you have to like put in some work, but in the end, it's gonna pay out. And it paid out in the way that, since I have a channel that is, based on mobile music making and creating with mobile devices, I need to have a bunch of cables. I need to have a bunch of adapters. Those are gonna cost me too, because no company is sending it to me. And whenever a company is sending it to me, one of those types of tech companies, they always have these weird, things that they want you to do, but they're not gonna pay you for it. It's shitty. It's shitty. I'm not saying that this company does that. I've never been contacted by Plex Gear, and I've used their stuff, and they're really, really, really good. Whatever I've used so far. I have an old hub that is now 7 years old, and it's still working. So I'm expecting a lot of good things from this. But still, it costs money to have a channel if you don't have someone sending you stuff all the time. And that's what people see. They see you get all this gear, but they don't know the workings behind it. Sometimes when you're being sent a gear, if you didn't have like a deal with them from the beginning, that deal might change afterwards. So you should always get a deal in paper if you can, unless you trust the company for some reason. But always get a deal if you have a YouTube channel from someone, especially if you're new, because many companies will just use and use and use and use you for how long they can without having to pay you anything. And they're like, oh, you get this for free. Yeah, and that's good when you don't have one. But when you have 20 of them, because you've been sent 20 of them, they don't matter anymore. Okay? It gets harder to make a video about them because, you don't get too excited about them anymore. But these things I purchased myself. Okay? I purchased them myself, and I'm gonna keep purchasing these because I can't work with tech companies doing this, because usually their deals are shit. They're usually very shitty. They're like, hey, we'll send you this. Why don't you make 30 videos for this one promoting our company? Oh, you want paid? You want to be paid? No. Why would we pay you? No, absolutely not. It's just shitty. Most music companies, they don't behave like that though. If you've got a respectable, reputable channel, and you honestly want to make a good deal with them, it's not impossible to do that. A lot of these music companies are really, really good to work with. One company I work with a lot is iQ Multimedia. They take care of their creators. I've also worked with people from Roland. They take care of their creators. I've worked with people from Novation. They take care of their creators. Most of these companies are really good. There are some shitty out there, but yeah, the three I've mentioned, I only have good things to say about them. I am starting to rack up on microphones. Mitch, the audio dabbler in here, who also has his own YouTube channel based on mobile music making. Mitch, how many microphones have you got, and how many of them were sent by companies, or how many did you buy yourself? Because I know that a lot of people in this sphere, like, they go out, they buy so many things, and yeah, some of you could need some help with that. So I'll try to talk to my contacts and see if anyone can send you some stuff, because yeah, it gets ridiculous, especially when you're having to buy like 300 copies of these things or something like that. What else to talk about? Well, right now, what I wanted mostly was to be able to use the iPad Pro with a monitor for my video editing. Now, for my music stuff, I don't need this. I don't need this. This is only going to be used when I'm doing video editing. But it definitely has a space here now, and it's going to stay there. So I'm gonna have to rebuild and reconsider my. I made some blueprints, for iPad stands and stuff, because I can't have it like this, because right now they're blocking the sound from my iK multimedia iLoud MTMs, which I love, and I can't have them blocking like this because it skewers this sound picture. What the hell am I talking about? I think you know what I mean. I can't have sound bouncing off the backs of my iPads. And of course, I'll probably only have one iPad here when I'm working, and it will be laying down on a thing, when I'm working. What else? Well, what I really want, is a dock that has everything on it. But I'm I don't know how it works yet, because there are docks like this that you actually put on the iPad, okay, on the side here. I saw one that a lot of people have been reviewing. You press it down on the side here and it goes over the iPad like this, and then it has all the USBs, it has microcard SD slots and things like that. I've seen them on Amazon, and luckily they do ship to Sweden. So I want to try some of that, because they also have a headphone output port on them. What I'm wondering is what happens when you plug in a sound card to that. Because normally with a lightning connector, I've tested it, but I don't have one myself. I've only tested it out in the field. Someone allowed me to test it. So when you have a Belkin, one of these adapters, Belkin, with a headphone port, USB, and a charging adapter, and you plug that in, you plug in your headphones, it will work on that. And when you plug in a USB sound card into the USB port, it will disconnect the headset and it will go over to the sound card. Okay, that can be a bit of a nuisance, because you still might want to use the headset, but then you have to, yeah, okay, so I know, I'm probably just complaining, but there are so many ways of connecting these things, and right now I feel a bit lost, because I've never seen so many options before. Before, with the lightning connector, the options were, if you don't get an original Apple branded one, it might not work, or it might work now, but as soon as iOS updates, it might not work again. With these things though, it's not supposed to be like that. But I guess I'm gonna have to wait until iOS 15 before I know how these will work. These don't need to be MFI certified, and that's why you can pretty much buy any of these. And these are not specifically branded or you will find them on phone sites, selling gear for phones. You will find these listed. But if you go to something like a tech site selling computer gear, you'll find these things, but they never say that you can use them with your phones. So for anyone new to this, it might feel a bit daunting just buying one of these, but most of them should work. But if you get one of these with a USB-C port on, make sure that it says that it has power through. Otherwise, when you connect your charger to this, your USB-C charger, if this doesn't support power through, then it will not charge the iPad or iPhone. Wait, there aren't any iPhones with USB-C. Well, it will not charge. This one can actually charge a MacBook. So it can take up to 86 watts. It's one of the bigger MacBook chargers. So this one will even work with a MacBook, the new MacBooks, which also needs a lot of hubs, and a dongle like this. Okay, yeah, I've been talking so much, and I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to talk about this right now. What I want is for anyone here that is right now using an iPad Pro 2018 or 2020 with the USB-C, why don't you drop some names of hubs and stuff that you have been using? Let me just bring up that cool hub that I saw the other day on YouTube, I think it was. What was it called? Wait, let me just try to find this. It's easier for me to do this right now. I might also be getting a keyboard or something like that. I guess I should have asked the Sensel Morph people to actually send me the keyboard overlay, you know, for texting. In that case, I would have just had one right now, but now I'm gonna have to get that to test also. So yeah, the reason to why I wanted this one also is because it has more USB ports. Okay, because I've been looking at USB hubs. I saw that Dean from Electronic Sounds mentioned hubs, and I didn't want to go out and buy another hub right now. Instead, I wanted to try out one of these to see how well suited they are. Because one of the biggest issues I have with USB gear, especially USB gear that makes sound and are charged by USB, is that USB ground hum. Well, it's not hum, but it can be a hiss or a digital fizzy. I have them with loads of products here. That's a huge problem, especially if you're going mobile. It's never a problem if you have something like a Unisynth and you're using batteries, or something like the Liven that I've been using, the 8-bit warps. That one can also be battery driven, and I never have any problems with that. But anything that needs to be powered through USB, when you connect it to your iPad, you might get one of those USB ground loops issues, and that's a huge problem actually. Let's see here. I'm just gonna try to find this thing. Best USB-C hub for iPad Pro. Now a lot of people have been talking about this one. Qbasis GN30. There it is. Okay, you gotta see this one. You gotta see this one if you haven't yet. Qbasis GN. I love that I'm able not to look for products that aren't Apple products. Do you know how happy that makes me? Not having to buy Apple products to get my external gear to work, not having to purchase the most expensive stuff to get stuff that still works anyway, even though it's cheaper. It feels sick. It feels sick. I can't tell you how happy I am. Maybe you can see that. Maybe you can see that. So here we have the Qbasis. Let's see. Yeah, that thing. Can you see that? Let me bring that up big. Oh, come on. I just want to bring it up big. Oh, come on. Let's do this. Tools. Large size would be preferable if you could show me one of the larger sizes. Can I do that? Okay, so that's what it looks like, and you basically just push it onto your iPad like that. Check that out. See that? So you press it down like that. It even has the holes for the speakers and stuff. It works for both the iPad Pro 2018 and 2020 models, and it's got a HDMI output. It's got the smart. It's got memory cards for the SD cards, and it's got the power through. Plus, it has a USB 3 connector and also a headphone port. That is really nice. Okay. The only problem I see with this is the plastic thing on the back here. That's gonna be an issue if you're using something like I'm using right now. So what you're gonna have to do is start cutting into your holder for your iPad, which is very annoying. If you know of any better stuff that you can use instead, it would be nice. Just tell me about it. I use the Qbasis hub for mine. Brandon Rico Simpsons, everyone. The Simpsons? Brandon Rico Simpsons. Brandon, are you still here, Brandon? Love your channel, man. Brandon's got a channel. He's a beat maker, and the guy can play keyboards like a dream. It's like he's a gift. He's a gift from the Overlord. I've been watching Brandon's streams, just watching. I'm sorry, talking about you in third person, but been watching you just sit there and play, and it's like, yeah, it's like butter. It's like getting melted butter over your face. Okay, that sounds weird. I'm trying to give you a compliment here. I hope you understand that. Anyone else use these? I really want one of these. Jacob, there's a new iOS update, 14.3 already? Oh man. Okay, but I am gonna update this. I'm gonna keep this one up to date. This one, however, is gonna stick on iOS 13. I am not going any higher now. I'm tired of seeing this thing slow down after every iOS update. Actually, from iOS 10 to 11, it was slow. From 11 to 12, stuff went slow. From 12 to 13, some stuff were slow, some stuff were faster. It was noticeable for me. I don't even want to think about what's happening when I'm doing iOS 14 on this, so stop. This old iPad is on iOS 9, this on 13, and I've got an iPad mini 1 on 12, and mini 2 on 12, and I've got this one on 14 now. So I'm gonna keep updating this. Hype to get an M1, just worried they'll put it in an iPad a year later. Yeah, you know, Hustle, they might do that, you know? They might do that. A lot of people want the new M1 tech, but then again, it might just be so that Apple wants people to buy into their M1 tech in their computers first, so they might wait, you know, a couple of years even before they do that. Then again, they might just go all out because they know it's gonna sell like butter. Wait, that's not how you say it, right? So, the only thing I'm not happy with is the color of my thing here. I'll show you, okay? Real quickly. I'll just do this. Pull down on the volume here. And pull this down. I'm gonna show you the color of this thing, okay? I don't know if you can see that, but that color is not nice. It's not gray. There's a bit of brown in it. It kind of looks a little bit like I don't want to say what it looks like. I think you know what I'm referring to. It doesn't look good to me. It looks kind of not good. All right. So you know what they say. Beggars can't be picking choosing. Wait, no. Choosers can't beg for begging for choosers. What is the saying? What the hell? I think you know what I mean, right? Literally, the reason I am not updating my iPad Pro. What's worth it about iOS 14 really? Widgets are okay. By the way, I've turned off all the widgets. I had them on, and then I got annoyed by them, so I removed all the widgets. I'm not a I'm not a widget user, basically. There's really nothing new in iOS 14 for iPad that I'm really interested in, to be honest. Okay, I'm not that interested at all. The other thing I'm really interested in is seeing how well this is gonna work with portable hard drives, because this is supposed to be very much easier to connect now and get to work when you're using these USB-C connectors. I have yet to see that, because with the Lightning, it's not cut and clear, cut and dry, dry and cut, dry and clear. It's not straightforward, okay? I know that from experience now. Trying to connect something like this, it's not cut and clear. It's not straightforward at all. I usually don't get it to work. Why is it changing colors? Stop. But with this, I've seen so many people just take the same drive that I have and connect it without issues. So that's going to be interesting to see. It's not a test I'm going to do right now, but oh, there's so much content I have that I'm going to be able to make now. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah, it is a gross color, isn't it? I'm not a vegetarian. Oh, that's funny, future music. I'm sure that so many of you have already asked me questions and stuff. I keep an eye on here right now, so ask it again, okay? Ask it again. If I didn't answer you the first time, I'm too excited. Just ask me again and I'll tell you. Enrique, where do you live, Enrique? Are you somewhere in Latin? Are you You might have told me. I don't know if you're in Latin America or if you're in Spain. Enrique Rafael. Come on, man, tell me. I'm wondering what prices are for stuff wherever you're living. I don't know if you live. You're in Mexico, okay? So if you're in Mexico, what do you have to pay for an adapter there? If you want to buy one of these things, are they easily available, and what do you have to pay for them? I've heard some real nightmares. Okay, I used to live in New York City. Okay, that's kind of a far move, isn't it? I mean, wait, New York City, isn't that kind of high up, uh, up north, and Mexico is all down there. I buy my stuff in Amazon, USA. Oh, okay, all right, okay. So, what did you get, Jacob? I got the iPad Pro 2018 model, 11-inch model, because it's got the same specs hardware-wise, apart from the camera and the RAM, as the 2020 model. And the 2 gigabytes of extra RAM doesn't matter, not for music content creators, and almost not at all for video creators either, actually. So that didn't matter. I didn't need the LiDAR camera or the extra camera options because I don't record videos with these. I only edit on these. So yeah, the 2018 model, and I got it for $500 on an auction site because I've been gluing myself to it. Is that a Spigen case? No, 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 it's not. It's what is it? What is the case? What is the case? Can I see that? It's a hey, it even it did a little loop de loop there. It's a lato laut. It's a it. I don't know how to pronounce that. So I'll type it here. Lay ut. They used to have them in Swedish stores. That's how you spell it. Dan Ramirez. Chinga, you're gonna swear in the comment section? Cabron, what are you doing? I've been watching Narcos too much, okay? So please don't get angry at me for a cultural appropriation. I've been watching Narcos, and it's been really rubbing off on me, okay? So I know all the swear words because they're all all in that series, all the series. You got Narcos Mexico, you got the regular Narcos, and then there's even that Queen of the South. Those are good series, by the way. Narcos. I went from 64G. Oh yeah, by the way, everyone, I forgot to tell you how big it is. Okay, so I've been working on a 128 gigabyte model. Since this is last year's model, you're able to get it at a lower price, and also you're able then to get more storage. So this is not 128, it's 256. It's double the amount of what I've had this time. The first thing I did when I opened this thing up, Apple makes it so easy. This is what Apple does good. Okay, so this is me now praising Apple. You don't get to hear it a lot, so listen closely, savor it. Apple does the backup of devices easy when you've got the iCloud storage thing. Okay, so it keeps a backup of your entire device, all the apps, everything that you do. So you can easily clone a device onto any new device you're buying. I've done it several times. I did it with my iPad mini 1 to my iPad mini 2, from my iPad mini 2 to my iPad Pro from 2015. And now I did it again from this one over to the new iPad. And everything that I've done on here is on here. Every app, every file, every preset, every note, every link, every site I had opened, everything, the messages, the photos, everything is there. I love that with Apple. Thank you so much for making it so easy. And how long did it take me? How long? Because I'm in Sweden, so the broadband connections here on Wi-Fi are really, really, really good. So it downloaded 90 gigabytes and installed everything in about an hour. And I was up and running with this device. And it's like a dream. This is what Apple does really well. You can clone, just make sure the Apple IDs match. Exactly. It must be Christmas. Jacob is praising Apple. No, it's not Christmas. It's not the holidays yet. What this is this is me this is me really liking Apple for doing something really right. Another thing that I think that they've done really well, and here's a little thing for you. Here's a little thing. You know, I talked to Marcos Alonso, who made Sampler, and Apple hired him right after he made Sampler, okay? Right after that. And he's part of a team that takes care of the interfaces for these devices. So, just guessing here, but I'm thinking that Marcos has had something to do with the interface of the iPad. Because think about that. You have this button here that allows you to go to the background, pull up your apps like this. It's the home button. When you remove the home button, what do you do then? Well, you gotta make this thing intuitive. You gotta have several forms of inputs. You gotta have one input for going to desktop, and you gotta have one input for just going to this mode, right? And on here, they made it simple. I have a hard time getting over to it because I'm used to the home button, but I actually think they did this well. So slow drag up halfway, and there it is. That's that mode, okay? That's a double tap, okay? And to get the full tap, you just do that. You just drag the whole way. So that's a full tap, and the halfway is like a double tap on that thing. And now you don't have that mechanical button, growing older and being damaged and something you have to change. So it's a good move. Then again, if you're locked on this device, it can be a bit daunting. It happened to me actually. I managed to lock one app. And what you have to do if you lock an app and you can't, you can't drag on the screen because there's no home button and dragging doesn't work. What you do is you press the power button and the volume button together, the same buttons you use to do the turning it off. Okay, you keep that in and you get this and you can turn it off. However, what if this doesn't work? Because that actually happened for me on the iPad Pro once. And on the old iPad Pros, when you keep holding them like this, you get a hard reset, having it shut down completely. It doesn't do that. So if this ever gets locked, well, I guess you're ducked. You're absolutely ducked in that case. Haven't had that happen though. Oh, I don't want to show you my password. I've already done that in another episode. Had to switch out my passwords afterwards. Someone even had to tell me in chat, Jacob, you should probably switch out your password, you idiot. And I'm like, why? And then I looked at the video again and I realized that I'm such a doofus. I'm a doofy, goofy guy. I'm such a goofy... Oh, it's gonna crash now, isn't it? It's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. Right? That's what it did before. It's gonna crash again. There we go. Okay. Let's just try this out. Just for good measure. Unplug. Open up Luma Fusion. I've never seen a 2018 256 gig iPad Pro 12.9 inch for 500. Well, it's not a 12.9 inch, it's an 11 inch. And that's the thing. I looked at this auction site every day, every post. My app gave me notifications as soon as someone put it up. And the reason to why I could get this one so quickly was because I didn't have to do any bids. On this site, you can have ads with either bids or buy now prices. The person who sold this wanted the money fast because they did a buy now price and they put the price at rather low. So that's how I was able to get it instantly. Because if you go into this on an auction site like eBay, because Tradera is like eBay. I think eBay owns Tradera by now. Yeah, but either way, if you go into that and you go into a bidding contest, then suddenly it grows beyond 500 and goes up 550. I've seen it for months and months and months now. It looks good until an hour before the auction ends, and then goes up from 500, 550, 600, 650, and suddenly you're up at prices where you can just buy a new one instead if you want one of those. I don't understand why people keep bidding on them. but they do for some reason. That's how it is in Sweden. I don't know how it is in other countries or in other auction sites. But in Sweden, I just see these. They keep rising. It's stupid because when you're ending up paying $750 for it, plus the shipping, and there's no case, no adapter, nothing, just that thing, then you're just this much away from getting a completely brand new one instead. Why don't you just get that instead if you're willing to pay this much? I don't understand. For me, it was no-brainer. No-brainer or non-brainer? No-brainer? I think it's a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. I just went in and bought it. No, it turns out the Luma Fusion basically, can you see that now? Yeah. It turns out that for anyone seeing this crash, Luma Fusion crash, it turns out that when I'm using this adapter with the DV connector, it crashes when it's already plugged in. However, if you turn Luma Fusion on and then plug this thing in, it works. It just works. I wanted to buy an iPad Pro 2016 because you said the newer ones are not good. I have an iPad Mini 5, but the screen is small. Can you recommend a newer now? 2020 model. Okay, so baseline, aka Klangattentat. Klangattentat? Is that German or is it Swedish? I read it, it's Swedish. Okay, so here's the thing. If you need the new camera and you for some reason think you need the 6 gigabytes of RAM, then get a 2020 model. If you don't need the new camera and the LiDAR system and you can make do with 4 gigs of RAM, then you can just go and buy a 2018 model instead. Because with the same money you can buy the new iPad Pro for, with the new cameras and everything. You'll get, if you pay for one which has like 128 gigabytes of storage, for the same money you're paying for that, you can get a 2018 model with 256 gigabytes of storage, which you're gonna need. You're gonna need more storage. So you don't get the camera, but that's okay. It's still got an improved camera over the previous models, and you only get 4 gigabytes of RAM. But the most important thing that you need for music creation is the processing unit and the GPU in there. Also, if you're doing video editing, and the specs between the 2020 model and 2018 model are the same. The same octa-core processor. So it's what you need. If you need the new camera, if you care about the LiDAR, if that's what you record videos with, if that's the thing, if you want the latest thing, then absolutely go for it. But 6 gigabytes of RAM is not going to help you more than 4 gigabytes of RAM. Not at this stage. Because as of now, iOS does not let music apps, too excited, does not let music apps use more than a certain percentage of the RAM, okay? So 6 gigabytes, it's not going to give you 6 gigabytes for apps. That's not how it works. So 4 gigabytes will do you well. I hope that answers you. And by the way, back when these iPads came out with the OS versions, there were just too many really app-breaking bugs, especially for creative people. And that's why I said it wasn't good. And it wasn't. I told people to wait. Well, we waited almost 2 years now. And now they're pretty good. Pretty good. And affordable since they're an older model. So not getting this one, if you want the new one, get the new one. But yeah, I don't know. If you just care about the processing unit, then this one has the same. Okay, so Tabara, if you're still here, Tabara, if you want to buy, let's say you want to buy the first gen iPad Pro, okay? First gen iPad Pro. You can get a long way with that. You can get very, very long with that. I have. But for anyone who missed the comparison, let's do it one more time, okay? Let's do it one more time. And this time, Oh, come on, Jacob. Learn how this works. This time, I'm gonna do it with the vocals, all right? So we're gonna do this, okay? Right here, I have a project in Qbasis, and almost all of the tracks here, these are 30 tracks or so, 31 tracks, and it's actually just half of them because they're all frozen. But I still have loads of really heavy gear on these tracks, okay? I'm using some really heavy stuff from FabFilter, and I can't even get it to display now. It can't even open. Okay, so let me just restart this and see if it works. We're gonna do this test. I'm gonna show you once more what you might end up dealing with if you're doing big projects. It's not that old iPads are useless. They're never useless. I'm still using my iPad Mini 1. How old is this? What, 8 years? I don't know. But and this, the iPhone 6, I bought another one because of how useful it is. Stuff is never useless. It depends on what you need to do. If you want to work with projects the way I am, let me go through this channel strips and show you what I'm actually using here, so you can see why I need so much power. So we've restarted this thing, and I'm just gonna play this for you, and we'll see again just what it sounds like. Listen for audio dropouts, okay? You know what? Let's do it with the vocals. Let's do it with the vocals, my man. Yeah. I'll put them up here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not updating properly. This is what happens when I try to...
It's strategy with Jakob, and I come to you with a better beat. Got a bag of heat.
You see?
28 gram a week. Both that really mean a man of me. Still in a salary. It's insanity, but it's reality. Out in the floor, they just call me a casualty. In the chat on beat. Know them ones wanna pattern me. They can't pattern shit, keep it fat.
Okay, this is what you might end up going into. I'm using not that many tracks, but I'm using heavy plugins. Most of the tracks that I've bounced out here and made, you know, when you're doing a track freeze, what it does is it just exports the audio and turn off all the plugins, but they're not completely turned off. They still take up a bunch of memory and stuff for you, okay? So you're gonna end up into situations like this. And I have been working like this for the past year. Most of my projects, when they grow, they become like this. And the only way I've been able to mix and stuff is by exporting what I have and listening to it when it's not glitching, going back in, doing my changes. Now, I can do that because I've been doing this for, what is it? I don't know. But I started with computerized music when I was about, 10, 12, something. It's been going on for almost 30 years. I'm used to working with gear. I'm used to doing workarounds. I've been working with tape recorders and everything. But for anyone new coming into this is not working for them. And if you're new to this, then it won't be working for you. However, if you're seasoned and you don't want to deal with stuff like this, well, you can see how it can become a problem. So sure, you can spend money on this instead. And what you can do is just keep bouncing and unloading plugins, and you can get pretty far with that. I have for many years. Apparently, I've showed it on my channel. Like most of the videos you've been watching the past year have been made with the same setup, the same stuttering whenever I work with something really big. And when I work with big AUM things, I get some problems there, but I've been able to run like 8 channels with 3 plugins in every channel, and then instruments and everything without having glitches, as long as I turn it into flight mode and turn off everything else. With this one, it's completely different. You heard what happened when I played it. You saw what happened when I tried to minimize and maximize and move stuff around. We were having audio dropouts, glitches. Now check closely with this one. We do it again, and let me bring back the vocals. No audio, because Jacob is a boo-boo. Did I do something wrong? Let's see here. Oh, wait. Where is the audio not coming? Where is it not going out? Let me just troubleshoot this for real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna restart this for I keep doing that. I'm gonna re-plug this, make sure that the audio is working, and this one too, because I know how sensitive the lightning ones are. By the way, the USB-C, I was wrong about that. I thought the USB-C would be crap. It turns out that the USB-C is much nicer to handle than the lightning one, and it kind of sits better in the port than the lightning one too, because of how it's designed, with a connection port inside and then this round ring holding something inside. It's very different from this thing, which is just like a flat connector going into a jack like that, because it can wiggle like this, and if you get a little bit of lint in it, you won't notice it. You know, you put it in, it feels like it's in all the way, but then again you just do it like this and it just it doesn't work. Will you do a 2020 upmix of track 05 from your original 7-track demo? My 7-track demo, now I can't remember which one you're talking about, Kalle. I can't. All right. Okay, so let's see here. It's not sex. Stop it, Joe. Just stop it. If you don't stop, I'll find you. I don't know where you work or go to school or whatever you're doing. I'll find you. I'll walk right in there with a box of donuts, and I'll throw them at you, but not whole donuts. I'll throw them piece by piece. I'll be eating half of them, of course, and then I'll be throwing the other half at your head if you don't stop with the sex thing. Dirty mind, very dirty mind. I hope you like donuts. Let's try this again. It should work. Technically, it should work, of course. No audio, so there's something else going on here right now, and that's, I can't figure out what it is. I can't figure out what it is. I can't figure out what it is. Did I mute something? Is something muted? We got full audio going out there, and it seems to be connected. Hello. Hey, what's going on? Why are we getting no audio? What the? This is weird, okay? This is... Wait a minute. Yes? Come on. No? No. I'm getting no audio. I can't even figure out what it is. Did I do anything? Did I connect something weirdly? What the hell is going on? This is not... Okay, let me just open up AUM here and see real quickly. It might be that... Just see if there's anything going on here. No, not the multibus. I need the hardware inputs. Hey, it's telling me I got no output. That's interesting. I have no idea what's going on. Yep. I have no idea. Oh, you got... Oh, yeah, Kalle. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play that, because I can't remember what that was, to be honest. Everyone who wants me to play that old track, I kind of have to vet that first in order to really know what it is I'm playing to you, because, hey, stop it! Because I can't remember what it was.
Okay, I definitely have some voodoo going on here in the studio. Uh, oh, the piece of that sword just got me. That sword just got me, Odell. That piece of that sword just got me. Have you seen that commercial from that like TV shopping thing? Have anyone seen that blooper? A guy he swings like a samurai sword into the table. It breaks off and apparently cuts him rather deep. I think one of the guys ends up saying like we need surgery in the studio. This is going out live. It's just the most insane thing ever. Imagine that happening. You know, just a regular day of work. I'm just showing this samurai swords, you know, just a regular day, and then end up cutting yourself like that, needing surgery. A piece of that tip just got me, Odell. I remember that so vividly right now. I don't know. Maybe that's what I feel like right now. Like a piece of a samurai sword cut me because I can't figure out what to do right now because I'm getting no audio. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, now I know what it's gotta be this thing. Ow! 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 That hurt. Ow! That hurt. Okay, everyone. I don't know what the problem is. I'm getting no more audio, so something has gone wrong here, and that's a problem. That is a problem. By the way, anyone who's wondering what rundgång is that Samuel is writing, that's what it means. Audio loop. Like when you're getting that looping audio with that high pitch, we say that in Swedish. Rundgång. Check the volume on the iPad. So check the volume. Oh, you're right. You're right. It's the volume. I'm so dumb. It's the volume on the iPad. You are right. I started fiddling with that audio first, and I'm like, yeah, it's got to be this thing over here, but then it's not. All right. Okay, so I was gonna check. I don't know if you're still here, the person who asked me about that, but we're gonna run this again. Stop, stop, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Now we're getting dual here. Let's not do that. Let's do this.
Jakob, and I come tune with a bad beat. Got a bag of heat for the gallery. Plus a bag of weed, 28 gram a week. Those that really made a man of me. Still in that rub for a salary. It's insanity, but it's reality. Out in the floor, they just call me a casualty. Red out, crashed in the chat on beat. Know them ones wanna pattern me. They can't pattern shit, keep it factually. Demon souls, they attached to me. I said demon souls, they attached to me. Mortality, immortality. I'm a hustler, baby, just that Cassie.
It's so smooth. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The tracks I'm going to be able to do now that I have so much power that I can just add tracks to this. I'm also going to be trying to unfreeze all of them and see how far that will get me. I don't think I'll be able to run everything because what I'm using is almost every channel, 15 channels have an instance of Saturn on them from FabFilter, have an instance of the equalizer, the Pro Q3 equalizer. I'm using the FabFilter Pro C compressor. I'm using the FabFilter limiter for mastering. I'm using so much, and it's just filling up these slots. And I'm using effects, heavy effects like EOS reverbs, black hole reverbs. It's just so much I'm using, and it's running smoothly with me just moving everything around, no stuttering, nothing. This is why you might want to save your money instead. Yeah. Fiverr vocalist, whoa, yeah. And if it doesn't sound really good yet, it's because you're listening, first of all, compression through YouTube. Number two, my mix is not done yet. It's by far. So the final result, you're going to be able to hear that in a video as soon as I can get the guy on an interview. I've been trying to get him on an interview for about, I don't know, a month or more, 2 months. and the guy just keeps putting it off because he's so, he's been working with so many things. He recently got a track out in a movie called La Belva. It's on Netflix. I don't know if it's in Netflix in every country, but it's La Belva. I think it's a Spanish movie, The Beast, and it's about a guy that beats other guys up. Yeah, that's one of those movies, full fist. But one of his tracks is actually in there, which is cool, Suddenly you're reaching an audience of millions. It's awesome. So he's got so much he's been going on his plate, and I just need him for maybe 15 minutes on Instagram chat, so that we can just record a little thing so that I can put him in the video. That's what's missing from my video. Everything else is done. Everything else is done. I just need him. So just wait for it, because I want everyone to hear. He's been trying to build a business on Fiverr. I want to hear his perspective, and also what he thought about my track, because that whole thing, when you're sending a track to someone, and especially someone who is a rapper, who writes lyrics, if they can't flow with your track, then what you're gonna get back is no good, okay? Or they might not even do it. So how much did you pay for Joshua Good? Are you asking me how much you pay for a Jakob? Because I'm priceless, honey. Okay, yeah, I'm priceless. No, actually, you could probably get me, on the side deal. If you give me like maybe $300, I'd come and sit with you. If you own a car, I can sit on the car for another 50. I'll sit on the roof in anywhere, in any shirt you want me to wear, with pants on, of course. If you want anything else, I'm sorry, I don't offer that over the table, so we can discuss it. But if you're asking what I paid for the iPad, it's $500 in Swedish money, okay? All right, okay, cool. Thank you so much for the tea, baby. So, it was a steal deal. And most people who are buying the 2018 models, 11-inch, they're usually paying at least $650 in Sweden on that auction site, at least, up to about $800. And at that price, it's not worth it, because at that price you can buy one of those new, okay? But yeah, the advantages when you're buying something used is that older models usually go for less money, of course. But when you step it up in money, you get double the amount of storage space, which is always sought after. And like I've kept on saying, I've been yammering about that so long now, but the hardware specs for the octa-core processor is the same as it is on the 2020 model. I don't think that's going to change until 2021. Maybe we'll see something new. Maybe. I suspect that if we're going to see something new, it might be a model with an M1 chip, but it's going to cost you. And that's the thing. I think that, it looks cool with the M1 and the MacBooks and the Mac Minis. That seems cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think we might see a new iPad Pro, still like a Gen 3 or Gen 2 or whatever it is right now. This is Gen 2 iPad Pro. So the 2020 is Gen 3. There might come a Gen 4, but improvements, that thing doesn't need any improvements right now. It's certainly not with the cam. The only thing they could do to improve it is put more RAM in there, which makes no sense, because nothing is using up that RAM right now. La Belva is Italian. Oh, sorry, it's Italian. Sorry for that. My Pro 2020 is Gen 4. Gen 3. So what was the Gen 2 iPad? The Gen 2 iPad Pro. Which one is that? Gen 1 is this one. The Gen 2 iPad Pro, is that the one when they made them like 10-inch, 10.5-inch or something like that? Is that the one? Maybe that might be the one. I keep forgetting about those. There were two iPad Pros with Lightning. Ah, okay. Which model did you get? Ed B. Okay, so it's the iPad Pro 2018, 256 gigabytes, 11 inch. Okay, and I got it for $500 with a case. So I could now go and buy other stuff because I saved a shitload of money. And so I bought adapters. I bought this thing so that I can use it with network and try out some, like a USB hub with power through charging. And I also bought one where I can use this old computer monitor that I've been, having for a long time. I used to use it with my computer. It's a 22-inch screen, and it's served me well for those years. It still works, and whenever I'm editing videos with this thing, it's gonna serve as a second monitor for the actual video output. I got the iPad Pro 11 and second gen. 2017 Pro had headphones still. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think I missed a whole generation of iPads. For me, the Gen 2s were when they came out with the 11 and with the Lightning. But yeah, you're right. It's the Gen 3, so this is the Gen 4. That means that the Gen 5, what would they do? Add more RAM? I don't think so. I think the next line is going to still be like 6 gigabytes of RAM. And then what? And then what? Hey, how about this? How about they add 2 USB-C ports? How about that? Or something else? I don't know. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Just make it, maybe I mean, they have to do something to justify a new keyboard that this time will cost you $400 or $500. I mean, have you seen how the Magic and Smart keyboards, how it's just shooting up in price? The latest one was like, what, $350? It's pretty insane, actually. They look cool, they look good, they look like very functional and very stylish and stuff, but it's definitely, it feels like a lifestyle thing you're purchasing into, because you can get just as good a result with any other keyboard. It's only when you look at something like the Apple Pencil where it really gets interesting how well Apple Pencil works. Apple ADD ports. You're so funny. How about this? How about they make an iPad with all the old connections? The 6.3 millimeter, sorry, the 6.3 jack, the big ones. Then put a Nutric connector there for your monitor, so you can just plug in, you can shove in your Nutric monitors cables right into there, like big plastic things on the back. And then you have like MIDI connections. And how about something old, like the really, really old ones, the kind of connections you use for tubes, so you can put a cool little tube there. They'll call them iTube. And whenever you're using apps, they glow, and they also warm your hands. That's a new thing they could do. I had a pencil, returned it, and bought a new one last night on sale. Mike, wait, what do you mean? Did you have an old Gen pen and got a new one, or did you have one, decided you didn't need it, and then you're like, oh no, I need a new one anyway? What happened? Steam pad. I flop a floppy drive. That would be great. A C64 tape drive connector. Oh, imagine that. Now that's something I would love to hack together. Imagine a dongle like this, but it ends up with a C64 tape connector. So you're connecting your old Commodore 64 tape to that, and then you can start playing games. You'll have an app for it. It loads up with that blue screen and everything. It would be so super. Then again, it's pretty stupid, but would I buy one? Yeah, of course I would. I'm a nerd. I love that stuff. But now that I'm doing video work and designing my partner's tattoos, I need it again. Ah, okay. Also, it's on sale now. Right. The first gen pens in Sweden, they're still, they kind of go up to the price where you're wondering, why would you want to buy it at this price? Why are you bidding on this? If you pay $10 more, you'll get a new one. And that one will have the adapter and the tip and everything with it. Whereas this one, you're paying almost new price for it, And there is no adapter. It's lost, and there's no extra tip. Why are you bidding on this? People, stop. I don't understand people sometimes. Haha, you're dreaming with the two USB ports. Enrique, I think maybe you're right. Maybe. No, I don't think it's gonna happen either. I don't think we're gonna get extra USB ports. I mean, are you kidding? They're trying to get rid of them. They're trying to get rid of all of them. I still think that we have another, what I don't know, like 3 or 4 or 5 years before we start seeing completely portless devices. I still think that's that amount of time, but they're gonna come at some point. But the thing is, I don't see the industry really doing, fixing it when it comes to lag and Bluetooth. Whatever they need to do to make a new protocol for wireless listening without lag for musicians, they're gonna have to do it fast. But the market isn't big enough, I think. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Tech gets better over the years, but the Bluetooth is still as laggy right now for listening on headphones for me as it was several years ago. No change. 99% of people are laggy Bluetooth zombies. I it makes sense when you think about making a physical board in a slim device. Yeah, it does. Bluetooth is so powerful it actually turns your teeth blue. Gigawatt, I'm gonna gigawatt. That's a lot of watts, by the way. But I'm gonna take your word for it. I haven't seen it, but I believe you. Maybe next version's gonna be called Blue Teeth. Yeah, Blue Teeth. How about they make a blue foot or a blue kidney or something like that? Blue brain, the blue brain thing. As excitement has been too much for me today. I'm gonna start rounding this up. In 15 minutes, I'm gonna stop the stream. Basically, and I can't believe that there are so many people in here right now. It's probably because of the new iPad thing. But for all 59 people who are currently watching, and for everyone else who's watching this after the stream, thank you so much for supporting me all this time. And part of this iPad has been paid by donations and also patronage from the community. So in a sense, I only paid half price for this, even though we got it at a steal. That we did. I'm now gonna put it to a lot of work, a lot of good work, make a lot of videos about this, because so far I've been scouring YouTube and I've seen a lot of helpful videos on USB-C and stuff. But when it comes to the real hard techie ones, there's only a handful out there. And when it comes to the Lightning side, I've been covering that hard. I'll be covering this too, because there's a lot of stuff that we need to know about, and a lot of stuff I'm gonna find out. And yeah, what's making this thing crash? What can that be? I learned recently that when plugging in my audio hub, if you saw the live stream last time when I was getting shutdowns, with the Phosphor 2 crashing, and also I had some crashes, the same types of crashes happened with Andrew Huang's app, and the developers fixed that, and then he told me what it was. And it has to do with the audio output. So if you're connecting a USB sound interface and it suddenly has more than just 2 outputs, which the audio hub does, it has 4 outputs. And if you haven't told the app how to behave, it's gonna crash. That's what's happening with all of these music apps that crashes. They usually haven't thought about having more than 2 outputs. And I know that Kairos also told me something along those lines when we were developing Agonizer. We've had similar crashes. So what I'm gonna do is, I have a sound card here with 18 outputs or 8 outputs, I can't remember. I'm gonna try that too and see what else crashes, with setups like this. Now, you will get a headset that contains for your brain. So the 2020 12.9 inch is Gen 4, while the 11 Gen is Gen 2 according to the box. Is that how it works? Maybe... What? You know what? Let me just go get my box. This is weird. Alright, so it doesn't really say what gen it is. It doesn't. On mine. Where on the box does it say that? Maybe it's different here. Either way, this model is an A1980. A1980. I thought it did say here somewhere. Where the hell did I see that? Riffer has a generator. You just press a button and it generates a sequence. Oh, I've seen you, everyone here, talking about apps, many apps and stuff, and Drambo's been name dropped a lot. And yeah, Drambo is definitely ending up on my the next video. By the way, if you're following me on Instagram, if you're not, please follow me on please just follow me on Instagram. Go do it now. You can find my link down in the description. Just open it up. Just go follow me there, because I put up stuff there that I don't put up anywhere else. And I also put out announcements, and I'll be doing even more about of that. So the thing is that when it comes to the thing that I was gonna say that I forgot about, which is a great way of just starting a conversation with anyone. That's perfect. I don't remember what I was talking about. Jesus, what's wrong with me? God. What was I talking about? Yeah. The next video is gonna be a top list. So it's gonna be a top 5 list, and it's gonna be about synths, because that's the quickest video I can get out. On Instagram, I did post a short clip of me talking about the Heinbach interview, because I'm working on that right now, and it's gonna take me much longer to do. First of all, the interview, I have to cut it down, of course, because the interview is actually 1 hour and 40 minutes long. I have to get the good bits, and usually I want about 8 minutes up to 15 minutes of interview clips for a video, and then I have to do everything else. Right now I've cut down the main thing. I've cut it down to 40 minutes, and now I'm trying to size that down to even more. So I'm still just working on the interview. That's why the next video needs to be something I can get out really quick, and it's gonna be a list video. And I've been wanting to talk about my favorite synths, my favorite drum machines, my favorite samplers, my favorite AUFX apps and stuff. So synth apps is gonna drop. Drambo is one of the apps that's gonna be on there. You'll just have to guess which one the other ones will be. So I'll round this up, and I've missed, I'm gonna have to sit and read all of your, oh my, there's so many comments. Alright, thank you so much for joining up. You've been watching Jakob haQ live with me, Jakob haQ, with a new iPad, and I've been saying iPad Pro 11-inch 2018 256 gigabytes so many times now. Everyone in the audience must be really tired of listening to me just yammer on about that as soon as anyone new comes in and asks me. But I guess that's what it is, you know, doing live streams. I want everyone to know, so they won't feel disappointed just clicking on the video and then the guy never says it. So yeah, I feel it feels great. Honey, are you home? Where did you go? Honey, where did you go? Hello, honey. I don't know. She went down to get a package and I didn't hear. It sounded like there was someone in the... I'm very nervous of me. I need to know who's in my apartment. I need to know. Yeah, there you go, Joshua. Thank you for typing it out. That's the iPad I have. You can also type out 500. That's what I got it for. It's a steal. It's a steal. So, thanks everyone for joining up. I'll see you next Wednesday, and that's pretty much it for me. I'm tired. Well, I had this back thing, which messed with my breathing. Okay, so whenever I was breathing, it hurt in my chest and in my back, and I couldn't move properly. So it's been quite an ordeal for me these past 3 days. And when I get excited right now, I still get like, so it's still an issue for me. But it's gonna be over in a few days, luckily. I've had this happen to me before. I remember how horrible that was, and it's funny whenever it happens. You forget about it happening last time, and so you get really nervous. Yeah, maybe I'm just nervous. Yeah, I'm just nervous, everyone. I'm just a nervous, scared little person. That's who I am. Why I stay away from people all the time. Love all of you. Thank you so much, and as usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff. Have a lot of fun doing it. And go get some used gear. Okay? Go get some new used gear and treat yourself during these holidays. If you need an upgrade, go get an upgrade. If you can afford that, go get an upgrade. If you can't, save your money and wait. Like I have been doing for all this time. Taking so long. And now I can afford more stuff because I got it at a steal. I can't believe it. It feels great. Yeah, it feels great. Yeah, thank you everyone. Oh, wait. I'll show this one. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn this off. Sorry, I got confused. We're in the part where I just do the regular stuff. Mr. Fung, I can't see that, Mr. Fung. Are you using an Android device or something, Mr. Fung? Because Mr. Fung, I cannot see the smileys you put in here. Maybe YouTube doesn't support them, or maybe I don't support them, or maybe it was a profanity smiley thing. Emoji, because maybe it was a poop dog, or maybe it was a big finger. I'm not doing the finger to you, that's why I'm doing it like this, but you can imagine there being a little elongated finger thing here. If you were doing this, then maybe YouTube just censored it out. I don't know if you can do those. Don't spam those, by the way, because YouTube's automated system will detect that and they will ban you, so don't. Markiplier had something like that happen to him, and he's not a small channel, but a little time ago he actually asked people in chat to spam an emoji thing. He asked them, and that same evening, while they were doing this, right there and then, the automated system did what it's supposed to. It detected emoji spamming, okay, emoticon spamming, and so it permanently banned not all of them, but so many people doing that. And I remember Markiplier doing a video about it, and I thought it was funny because everyone's angry at YouTube for this, but they were literally spamming the system, which you're not supposed to, and this time the algorithm actually worked, and they got angry over that. I thought it was funny, but so don't do that. And now I see emojis in chat. I see a little monkey, Mr. Fung, and Francisco Nunez. Mr. Nunez, you also made the monkey. Hey, where's that monkey? Do I have that monkey? I want to make that monkey. I love monkeys. Where's that monkey? Everyone, where is it? Do I have a little monkey? I know how to do this one. I love that one. That's my most favorite emoji. I use that for anything. Imagine people contacting me every day, and the only answer they get is that emoji, that smiling little poop. How do you interpret that? Right, I'm gonna go. See you next time. Oh, Hustle James dabs on me. Jesus. Right before I go. You can't just challenge me like that. You can't just challenge me like that when I'm supposed to go. I'll get you next time though. So yeah, you just wait. I'll be coming for you. Hustle. Hustle. Hustler? Ah, I get it now. I get it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Here comes the emojis. Oh no. Okay, I'm going. I'm ending the stream. Bye. Bye. Don't get banned. Don't get banned.